母親に似て心の優しい君なのに。だが今日で最後だ。もう。
チャンネル登録していい。
Card D Kaizoku.
This video is brought to you by Adakai TCG. Shop the latest in premium holographic textured custom One Piece cards. Designed for collectors, crafted to stand out. Use code CARDKaizoku for 15% off your next order. This video is sponsored by Gungam.gg. See Western OP11 list and Eastern OP12 list on Gungam.gg. Updated daily. Be the first to see decks for new leaders as they emerge. With over 1,000 deck lists per set, Gungam.gg has all the top strategies as soon as they drop. This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. So the entirety of PRB02 has been revealed. I have added the cards in my deck builder. There aren't like pretty proxies for each one, so I kind of made like my own quick and dirty English proxies for now until More Piece makes his beautiful ones that I can use. Actually, I don't know their gender, so I shouldn't use his. Their proxies. But yeah, we're just gonna go over each card and see how it affects the decks that it's supposed to support. They all buff existing decks, so it's kind of like an EB set in that regard. So I like the fact that they're doing that with the premium boosters now. Right, Premium Booster 1 was just all reprints. Premium Booster 2 is reprints plus new cards plus all the Golden Dawn and Premium Alt Arts that we expect. So yeah, I think really awesome direction that Bandai went in for this set. So without further ado, in case you guys want to check these cards out yourself and brew with them early, yeah, it's in my deck builder, deckbuilder.cardkaizoku.com. So we just go top left to bottom right. So first card here is Koby, 4 cost 5k 1k counter. So on your opponent's turn, if your leader has a navy type, this character gets plus 1000 power, so it's a 4 cost 6k on your opponent's turn. Then when attacking, K up to one of your opponent's characters with a base power of 3000 or less. Then if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, draw a card. And he's a navy sword type, so I'm gonna have to assume it is for the OP11 Koby deck. And then it can be interacted with by a bunch of the sword support. So this Helmeppo can play it from your discard, if you even want to play a 4-drop from your discard, but I guess it's an option now too. Can KO a 3k power. So this gets rid of a lot of like chump blockers, right? You'll kill Rosinantes on your way to attack into another rested character that they may have with the Koby, because the leader Koby gives him pseudo rush, right? He can attack characters on the turn that he's played. So he just mows through any chump blocker in the way. So that's pretty good, because that's one of the ways that you can get around Koby. Right, even if you're trying to control the board, if they play a blocker, it kind of gets like in your way in that regard. And then on your opponent's turn, he's a little bit tankier. I do like the fact that he can draw you a card, because like with Helmeppo, you're trashing a card and then drawing a card, which yeah, I guess that replaces itself. But what other cards in the deck make you discard a card? With the doll is kind of expensive in that you have to discard a card to get minus 6k. It's well worth it, but I think with this Koby being able to recover some of that cost, it makes doll like maybe even a 4 of, it seems a lot less of a liability to run doll if you're running Kobe's. And then you're able to just pretty much kill anything that you get minus 6k to. Now, does this make this deck viable? It definitely helps. It gives you some other options, right? Because before this, the only way to get around the chump blockers would be like to play a Prince Groose for 1 Dawn. Then you're wasting a 2k. This is something that always becomes an attacker on a following turn. I don't know. I kind of wish he gave minus power too. Right, kind of like this Hibari, more effects like this, but yeah, the jury's still out. I'm kind of erring on the side of it not saving the deck. I think there needs to be like another late game play besides the 8-drop Koby here. If Helmeppo got like another late game card you could play that does something a little different from this Koby, I think that would potentially be better. Okay, so there's a new Law card too. So 6 cost 7k. Once per turn, if this character would be removed from the field by your opponent's effects, you may give it minus 2000 power instead. Very sticky. Right, so this counts KO, bounce, bottom deck, and then when attacking, give it to one of your opponent's characters minus 2k power in this turn. It's a Punk Hazard, 7 Rollers of the Sea, and Heart Pirates type card. I don't know what it synergizes with. I think it's just a good standalone card in that case. Or is it going to be used in like a removal based deck? So that would be like Marco, and Shanks at the moment is kind of removal based on power. I can't add both leaders, but yeah, they run like this Marco to KO at 3k. This new gate to KO at 5k. Rayleigh also KO stuff after giving minus power. So that combined with this Law, like yeah, it's sticky. They can't remove it via removal effect, and then 7k base is pretty beefy too. So he just gives you access to minus 2k power to help meet your KO thresholds. But the thing is, he is quite expensive, so you're gonna have to set them up a turn prior to playing your new gate the next turn. So that is kind of awkward because that's where like cards like Raise Max and stuff like that. It's a 1 Dawn investment. You could just play this on top of the new gate for 8 Dawn and have access to KO on the turn that you play the new gate. Meanwhile, with the Law, yeah, I guess since he is so sticky, he'll probably make it to the turn that you play new gate or even the Rayleigh. So if I think about it that way, it's not bad. He has counter too, so maybe actually a decent card. Just quite expensive for 6 Dawn. Up next, we have Lucky Roux. So 4 cost 2k power, 1k counter blocker. On play, if you trash a character card with the power 6,000 or more from your hand, draw 2 cards. So I think this is perfect for a Shanks deck. He's a Red Hair Pirates type 2, just because like Shanks runs Rayleigh, Newgate, the cards that we just looking at. Even his like late game Shanks cards, both of these. If they like clog your hand, and you don't need them in the early game, you play a Lucky Roux, you can fix your hand pretty handedly, right? Discard one of them, draw 2 cards that could potentially be like earlier plays that you want to play. You can even run this with the other Silver's Rayleigh, this one here. So if you're running both this Rayleigh and the Lucky Roux, you're playing a lot of blockers that help you fix your hand or just outright draw you cards. So would that shy away the Shanks deck from like a removal based kind of playstyle and in favor of just like being super defensive and having card advantage? Maybe, right? Lucky Roux does help. But 2k power, there's a lot of cards in the game that get around this Lucky Roux. In fact, we just looked at one, right? The Koby here, you can just KO the Lucky Roux. But yeah, I guess it's usable. Up next, we have Bonney. So 3 cost, 3k power, 1k counter blocker. And then on your opponent's attack, once per turn, you can set it to one of your Dawn is active. Okay, so this is obviously Bonney support, right? Because it gives you Dawn for your leader ability to rest a character or leader. It's a blocker 2. This could be the premier target to play with your 8 cost kid now. Because you can cheat out a 3 cost with this, and then you'll want a blocker to protect it, and then it also sets you up for your leader ability. So even if you don't develop a Cavendish prior to playing this kid, you just play this kid on 8, and you have your... Oh no, it can't be 8. You have to play it on 9. So you play it on 9, you have your leader ability set up, plus this 8 cost kid wall set up as well. So that means going first wouldn't be too bad with the Bonney now. Because I think prior to that, you want to go second always, but now you can be fine going first or second. Oh, but there's also like the Kid and Killer that already kind of fixes that, right? This Kid and Killer Searcher from the starter deck. You can trash it to give active Dawn. So that's something you can do. I guess you have like 8 ways to do it now between this Bonney and the Kid and Killer. So yeah, I guess that's nice. And I think this Bonney works with the new OP13. Red and green Luffy too. You get extra 2k for the turn with that active Dawn. Okay, we have another character Luffy, 4 cost 5k power, 1k counter. On your turn, on play, if your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 7 or less Dawn cards on their field, your opponent rests 1 active Dawn at the start of your opponent's main phase. So before they reach late game, you're slowing them down by a turn. I wonder which decks this is gonna affect the most. Which decks have to like for sure play on curve or else they lose. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure there is a deck that would get hurt a lot by this card. But the thing is, in the late game, this card does nothing for you, right? If they're past 7 Dawn, this is just a 1k counter or like a 4 cost 5k. So actually not too impressed with this card. It's an SR though, so it must be good. Huh. Maybe I'm just undervaluing how strong of a play it is to delay your opponent for a turn. What's something on 7 that if they were at 6 instead, they would miss out on? Like Hody? Hold on, what are the 7 cost plays that are really strong in the meta? You could delay a Sengoku. Yeah, Hody, as we mentioned earlier. Oh, you can delay a Jack. That could save your board. Because, yeah, green decks usually die to black. You delay a Ben Beckman, a Sanji. Okay, yeah, actually, these are really strong 7 drops that you can stop from being played for a turn. You just outright denies Usopp's whole deck identity with the Rebecca here. Oh, yeah, 7 Law is a 7. 7 Law is 7, yeah. So, Luffy Taro too. Huh, okay, so actually maybe better than I thought. It does affect a lot of decks, actually. Okay, I like it now. There's also a Zoro 2k counter, who is also a blocker, and then if this character would be rested by an opponent's effect, you can rest one of your other characters instead. So it's a sticky blocker, you always have it to defend your characters via attacks. So you'll have Tashigi to prevent removal, you have Rosinante to prevent KO, and then you have this Zoro to prevent resting. So how can you interact with the green board? I don't know anymore. It's a 2k counter too, that's so crazy. Right, this might be like the green starter package here. Every green deck has to run these 4 cards, or these 3. Probably you have to pick between Rosinante or Koshido, but yeah. Up next is Jimbe, 4 cost 5k power. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal to 1 7 rollers is a C-type character other than Jimbe and add it to your hand and place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. When attacking, place up to 1 character with the cost of 1 less on the bottom of its owner's deck. So that's actually really good for Doflamingo, right? Because right now the only searchers he runs is Sengoku, the 1-drop Now you have an attacking option and something you can cheat with your leader ability that just draws you a card. So you have this on top of the Weevil. So yeah, just a bunch of card draw for the deck. Does that save the deck? I do think this is a significant buff. But yeah, they did lose the other Jimbe that can cheat out another character, right? Where's he at? This guy is banned, and this is his replacement here. So instead of playing a character out, you just draw a card. I guess that's a lot more balanced. So I'm hopeful that Doflamingo might come back into meta relevancy with this card. It even bottom decks a 1-drop too. And there's a lot of 1-drop blockers in the meta, like with Ripper and there's like an Apu 1-drop blocker. These can get dealt with by the Jimbe pretty easily. I like it. Okay, there's a Marco blocker, 4 cost 6k, no counter, and then on KO you draw 2 cards. This one seems really generic, so I don't know if it's specifically for any deck, right? I don't like the fact that it doesn't have counter, but you do get to draw 2 cards. Actually, that doesn't sound too bad at all, right? But if they bottom deck it, you get nothing. I think it's still good, right? You block an attack and you potentially draw 2 cards that could be countered to stop another attack. So yeah, and it's generic enough to be in any blue deck. It's not like type locked or anything. Okay, Mr. 3 Galdino, 2 cost 1k power blocker. When this character is rested by an opponent's effect, you can activate this effect. Trash this character and draw 2 cards. It's a cross guild. I guess you'd run this in Buggy, but it seems good in any kind of blue deck. And then yeah, with the plethora of rest effects in the meta at the moment, with like freaking Hody and then Dead Man's Game, these are like in every single green deck, and green is really popular right now. If this Galdino would be rested, you can just like pop himself so he's not a useless card on board, and then draw 2 cards that could potentially be countered to protect your characters instead of relying on this blocker. So yeah, flexible card in that regard. I wish it was like a Moji, or not Moji. What does he cheat out? Richie, right? Which one was it? This one. This Moji can cheat out a Richie. So if this Mr. 3 was a Richie card, I feel like that would be a good combo, but it's not, because Richie's like the freaking lion guy, right? Yeah. Okay, up next is putting 7 cost 5k power on play. If you Dawn -2, if your leader has the big mom pirates type and your opponent has 6 or more Dawn cards on their field, draw 2 cards. Okay, that in and of itself already seems pretty decent, but it's a 5k base. Then you may play up to 1 big mom pirates type character card with the power of 6 to 8,000 from your hand. Huh? Okay, so it's 2 cards out of your hand to draw 2 cards. That means it replaces the cards in your hand, so that's really good advantage there. Dawn -2 is not the worst thing in the world for a purple deck. What's the best target for you to play out? So big mom pirate, power of 6,000 to 8,000. So you can play out Sanji and Pudding. You can play out 8 cost Katakuri, the yellow one, if you're in a Pudding deck. So that can like buy you some time. It can remove a character on board. There's also the blocker Katakuri for like super defense. You can play this 1 turn earlier, right? On 7, you play the Pudding, you play this Katakuri. If you Dawn -2, one of the Dawn gets back to you from this Katakuri, so you go back up to 8 on your following turn. What else is a good option? Oh, you can play like this Linlin, right? On play, your opponent has to trash or heal you. That's pretty scary. And then this Linlin too, right? They either have to trash a life card or discard 2 cards. That's pretty scary. That's actually pretty good, right? But yeah, it seems most of the good targets were in yellow. So you would have to play this in a Pudding deck. But I guess, would you run this in purple Katakuri? No, I think this is more of a purple-yellow Pudding card. And yeah, Pudding herself is a 5k attacker afterwards too. And then the Pudding leader can ramp, so it mitigates the Dawn -2 a bit. Yeah, I like it. It's the fact that you draw 2 cards. It's so amazing. Okay, up next we have Doflamingo. So 5 cost 6k blocker on play. If your leader is multicolored, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck as rested. I think this combos really well with the current Don Quixote package in purple, right? You have this 8 cost Doflamingo that can cheat out a 5-drop. And before it was this Rosinante as the best option because you can draw a card with it and it gives you 2 active Dawn at the end of the turn. But yeah, if you whiff on not having Rosinante, I think it's kind of detrimental because you have to Dawn -1. And then you need the active Dawn from this Rosinante to use the on your opponent's attack ability from this Doflamingo because it kind of gives you that Dawn back, right? You pay a Dawn to ramp 1 active Dawn. I think just having this Doflamingo as another 4 effects to mitigate that is great because you ramp a rested Dawn this way, right? So that pays for the Dawn -1 from the 8 cost Doflamingo. And then he's a blocker too, so that's always a great addition, a blocker that can attack always. And even getting this on your 5 Dawn turn, just to ramp, like, that works out really well too, right? On 5, you play this Doflamingo, you go to 6, next turn you go to 8, you can play this guy out, maybe play a second Doflamingo blocker or play a Rosinante from your hand at that point. Actually, yeah, I quite like this combo now. It gives it 1 more good target to play out. You could also play like Senior Pink, so you have 3 good targets to play with this 8 cost. I like it. Then we have Nami. It's a 2 cost home play searcher, top 5 searcher for Straw Hats. and then on trigger you play the card. So yeah, this is every purple Straw Hat deck will probably run this in combination with Law to search for what you need to find. I think this fits really well into like purple black Luffy too, right? Because you'll play this Luffy and then you play the Zoro on your 3-Dawn turn, you get 2-Dawn back from like the Zoro plus the leader ability. That's a perfect time to play this Nami and search. I like it. Okay, we have Gecko Moria. 6 cost 7k power. On play, if your leader has a Thriller Bark Pirates type, you can play up to 1 character card with the cost of 4 or less from your trash is rested. Then attach 1 rested Dawn card to your leader or one of your characters. Okay, I think there's only 2 Thriller Bark Pirate type leaders. Yeah, it's Perona and Gecko Moria. I do think this card is for Gecko Moria himself because you do need 1 Dawn on your leader for your leader ability anyway, and that's what this Gecko Moria gives you. This is like 8 cost Gecko Moria light because this guy used to play out 2 characters for you. This plays out only 1. A lot more balance in that regard too. Actually, the card you bring back doesn't have to be Thriller Bark, so you do have access to this tried and true combo back into Gecko Moria. And this card itself is leader locked, so only Gecko Moria can run it. That's what we were like all asking for to fix this abomination. So they finally gave it to us. But yeah, this is a very versatile card in that like you can bring back your Perona to make your opponent trash a card or give -3 cost or something, Hog back to draw a card for you, or Absalom to KO, or Rebecca, right? You could do like Gecko Moria into Rebecca and then play out like Hina from your trash or your hand to give -4 cost or something. One of the Dawn goes on your leader, you pay 2 more Dawn and you can play Absalom from your trash to pop a 6 cost this way. So that's really strong, right? And that combo only costs 8 Dawn. Imagine what you could do with 10 Dawn, you know? So yeah, this is an amazing addition for Gecko Moria. Does it make him back into a viable deck? Might be a little too late in the meta now, I think, just because this card is exists now, right? Crocodile and Mihawk just counters every KO based deck, and then Gecko Moria is a pretty KO heavy deck, so I don't know, I guess against every other deck you're good. It's just if you face a buggy you're gonna have trouble. This Gecko Moria is not gonna save you, unfortunately. But yeah, definitely a super big buff to Gecko Moria. Okay, we're almost done. So Sabo, if you have 15 or more cards in your trash, give this character -3 cost in your hand, and he has blocker, and he's a 2k counter, so it's kind of like the Sanji from OP06, I believe, this guy, right? Kind of similar philosophy here. So he is Dressrosa and Rev Army. So he's usable in Koala and then the new Sabo, right? Koala runs a lot of cards that discard. So does this new red-black Sabo, and I guess every other Rev Army black leader. I guess the Sabo can too, but it's also Dressrosa. So I think Usopp can use him really well too. Usopp also discards cards, so you'll get access to a 3 cost blocker this way. This Usopp actually makes this Sabo into a 7 cost on board, so a little bit harder to remove, I guess. Yeah, it's a great addition to both archetypes, I would have to say. Then we have Shiryu. So if your leader has the Blackbeard Pirates type, this character gains blocker and +4 cost. So it's the 8 cost 5k blocker. On KO, if your leader has the Blackbeard Pirates type, KO to one of your opponent's characters with the base cost of 4 or less. Oops, it says case cost. I think I typoed that. I actually think that's really strong. It's really stall heavy, right? In a Blackbeard deck, just having a blocker you can play on 4. If they attack into you, you can get rid of one of their 4 drops. It just helps you delay until you can get your like Jesus Burgess set up and your 10 cost Blackbeard. So I think this is like an auto include. This is a really strong addition to Blackbeard actually. And yeah, the starter deck didn't really seem to propel him into meta relevancy in OP12, so maybe this Shiryu does. It really slows down a lot of decks, right? Because Lucky Roux does that at the moment for Shanks, so like Blackbeard has something similar now too. Okay, moving on to yellow, the last color, we have Otama. So 2k counter, 2 cost 0k power, activate main, you can rest this character and add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life cards to your hand. Up to one of your leaders or characters gets +3k power during this turn. And on trigger, you can rest a 4 drop. Is this for Yamato? Because it's a Wano, Land of Wano type card. It's 2 down for 3k power, so it's good for that. But that's about it, right? Yeah, kind of meh on this card. I think Yamato already has a bunch of good 2k counters anyway. Okay, Boa Hancock. You may discard 1 card with trigger from your hand until the end of your opponent's next end phase. Up to one of your opponent's rested leaders or characters other than Luffy cannot attack. Then on trigger, you can KO a 4 drop. Okay, that's pretty good. It's a vanilla stat line. It's another way on 5 to use a trigger card because the other one is like the Nami. Right, or actually this Nami, Egghead Nami, kind of does something similar. This one KOs, this one prevents an attack. This Robin, or this Hancock is more like the Arlong from OP06, right? One of your opponent's rested leaders can't attack. This one can also affect characters and has a nice trigger too. It pops a 4 drop. This one rests a 4 drop. So for all intents and purposes, kind of like a better Arlong, but in yellow, it's a completely different color. This could be good in a new Bonney leader coming out in OP13, right? Because when you play a character with trigger, you can get 2 rested Dawn out to a leader or character. Yeah, just more mid-range control options. Maybe even Enel could run this pretty well. And then finally, we have Port Gas D Ace. So Ace, 5 cost 7k power on play. If you have a face-up life card, you may play up to 1 Sabo, Port Gas D Ace, or Monkey D Luffy with the cost of 2 from your hand or trash. So obviously, everyone is thinking that this is for these 3 leaders here. It's yellow, so it can be run. Gecko Moria was an option that only black yellow Luffy could run because it was a black card, but now like all 3 of these have access to this kind of effect. It is like a Gecko Moria light for this kind of deck, right? Gecko Moria used to bring back 2 of the 2 costs. That's this Ace here, or Sabo, or Luffy. Because what they do is you can pop the top life card that you have, and then if it's a 5-drop Luffy, Sabo, or Ace card, you can play it out. Or no, you don't pop it. You reveal, and then if it is a Sabo, Luffy, or Ace, then you can pop it and play it out at the expense of trashing one of these 2 costs. So this Ace, just being able to do one of that, because Gecko Moria used to bring back 2 of these. Yeah, it makes it a little bit more balanced than the Gecko Moria, and the fact that it's not like insanely statted either. 5 cost 7k, still pretty decent. But yeah, you can play from your hand or trash. So if they're stuck in your hand, you can play them out that way too, if you need to like maximize the Dawn for the turn. So yeah, this is an amazing addition. It could be what revives Black Yellow Luffy. Right, with the old Gecko Moria, it made him like a 9k base. This Ace makes your leader at least a 7k base after using your leader effect plus the one of the brothers. And then you still have 5 Dawn for the turn, so you could just set up and play another one. Or like a second Ace too, works. Oh, but then you need Dawn on your leader, 2 Dawn on your leader. So maybe, no, you can't play 2 Aces with this particular deck, or any of the other ones for that matter. Unless you have a way to shuffle Dawn onto your leader. But yeah, definitely a super huge buff. It kind of brings back like the old way to play Black Yellow Luffy. He's not at full power, but like he's at least close to what he was before, I would have to say. And that also opens up a lot of strategies for the Ace and then the Sabo as well. Because yeah, as we mentioned before, only Luffy had access to that kind of playstyle, but now all of them do. And that's it for PRB02, for the new cards at least. I could take a look at what gets reprinted if you guys want to see that. I just figure it's not as interesting as seeing the new cards. So that's going to be it for the video. Let me know what you guys thought of the new cards. My favorites of this batch here, I would say the Bonney. I like the Bonney. I like the Doflamingo and Nami. The Jimbe is really good. Gecko is good. Shidu is like amazing. So is the Ace and the Boa. Those are my standout picks. Maybe the Luffy is going to be really good too, and I'm just like underrating it. That could be the case. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the cards. And if I missed any synergies, let me know too. And then check out my other videos if you're a new watcher, a new viewer here. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, so you don't miss any of my videos in the future. And I guess that's it for now. So bye.
Card D Kaizoku.